I just want to say that this is the launch of Timmins.CARE. And for those, you'll soon come to know it as the virtual embodiment of the partnership and coordination that I think many groups are committed to not only keep Timmins the great community that it is, but continuously strive to make it better, which I think should be the goal for any group that comes together in any community. So with that said, I'll turn it over to Mayor Peary.
Thank you very much, Brian. This is very exciting and at the same time a very important day for the city of Timmins. This Timmins.CARE official launch really will be the official start of the turn of the conversation within this city. It's been a rough year. We know that. We've been faced with a lot of myriad problems that have come to, and the negative conversation has been dominated in the city. But I know that for every bit of conversation out there, there's 100 pieces of good news out there. We have a community that is, I think, one of the most caring communities in the North, if not the most caring community. Every Friday, we can look out the window and we can see the Yeomobile. I don't know how many people really know that Mario has had his bus upgraded by Tisdale Transfer. I mean, they of course upgrading from that school bus to a first one tier carrier out there, and I'm very sure that Mario is going to be happy to see that. I don't know how many people even know that's happening, but a guy like Ron Millette has made that happen. We're a few steps away from food banks, both here in Timmins and South Porcupine, that are very well endowed all the time. We have the Project Love It. We have Salvation Army. Just yesterday, when we had kicked off the Red Kettle campaign, 300 meals a week. There's countless good deeds that are out there, and we want to tell them. We've got a good story to tell, and we want to tell it. When you take a look at our web page that's being developed, you'll see that has been developed. I think you'll be amazed by the quality that's there, and that quality is the contribution for that quality comes from the people that are the most important people, and that's you. The agencies that are there that help every single day. There's over 30 local groups and organizations who work tirelessly day and night to help those in need throughout our community. And we want to tell that story. I was just looking at the press release this morning from Mark in relation to the Fill a Cruiser campaign. We want to tell those stories. They're absolutely wonderful stories, and the community response. And we want to dominate the conversation, the good conversation in this community, not the negative. We got a great city. We truly are a city with a city of heart, and I believe that in my heart. We're as good as we ever were and better than ever were, and we're going to tell that story. We're not going to be dominated by the individuals that are out there in Facebook. So I'm very proud that this initiative has been kicked off today. And it's a great story, and it's a good story to tell. So thank you very much for everybody here, all the partnerships that have been developed. And this is just the start. The stories, there's some of the content that has got to be fully developed, and it will be developed. I'm very anxious to see the youth contribution that's being developed. And from my perspective, it'll be the young people of the community that will start to dominate this conversation, as you would expect. So I'm very, very happy for the contributions, all the names that are on the screen that I can read, and they're here because they're proud of what they do, and we're proud of what they do.
The Community Safety and Wellbeing, the interim plan, is now going to be integrated on Timmins.CARE through every web page. So Each organization has its own page, and at the very bottom of that page, you'll find a link to the Community Safety and Well-Being Plan as it stands right now. Melanie, did you want to just jump in for a moment or two and share a thought about this particular process?
Well, certainly in terms of the work that has happened over this past year, and it certainly was a community effort, not just from our local stakeholders coming forward, but certainly from our community members wanting to share where they feel things are at, their concerns, and their own fears about current situations, and really bringing their ideas as well to light. So I'm really happy with the direction that the advisory committee and myself have looked at taking in terms of moving forward on the Timmins, on the Community Safety Wellbeing Plan. Certainly there's still a few things to do before the final plan will be developed. And again, Kevin has mentioned to you, it will be shared with you once that is been approved by council later in 2021. And there we'll be looking at different opportunities where people could actually message back, communicate with us as well in terms of any concerns, or if they want to be part of something, or even highlighting any successes that they have been privy to or seen, right? Because we do know that there's a lot of great successes going on in this community right now. The final plan will highlight these partnerships that we see between the police and the hospital, DSAB and CMHA, these great, there's a multitude of things going on right now that, we need to convey out there to the community that's really making a difference, and sharing those things and how even other community members could get involved in different ways.
Melanie, thank you so much for sharing that. And I'm not going to go through everyone on the list, but to see if I can put somebody quickly on the spot, Carol Young from South Cochrane Addiction Services. Carol, if you could unmute yourself, and perhaps South Cochrane, when this initiative first came out, they were very, very quick to jump on this particular project, and submitted a lot of content, including some, I think, some important stories, some important positive stories as well, about people that have utilized South Cochrane Addiction Services. Carol, did you want to jump in for a moment or two and share a thought?
Thanks for having me. We just chose to do a couple testimonials. Of course, we had to, make sure that the clients were understanding that this could go wide and be very publicized. But it was very important for us to show the positive results. We also shared one of those testimonials on our Facebook page, which received a lot of views and a lot of through plays. And it was really positive to get the feedback from not only the client, but other people. And so, we just felt it was important to we know that we work with individuals that can have difficulties, and success is measured in much different ways. Success is not necessarily just abstinence as far as substance use is concerned. And so it was just important for us to show those positives, and those, like Mayor Peary has suggested, the success stories in Timmins, that they are there. Just the negative oftentimes just outweighs the positives, and so for us, that was one of the things that we did want to highlight. So we're hopeful to do more testimonials. We will, we were working under a bit of a time crunch when we put the project together. So we did the best we could, but it still needs to be refined and perfected, and possibly add a lot more to it. So we're hoping to do that moving forward.
Terrific, Carol. Thank you so much for sharing that. We appreciate that. So it's not my job to make any sort of observations other than to share with you the website today. So with that, I will go ahead and share my screen here so that we can jump into it. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Timmins.CARE. Can everybody see? I assume everybody can see it. I know you're all muted. This is the new Timmins.CARE webpage, which is a multi-agency website that is being led by the Cochrane District Social Service Administration Board, or DSAB as we all know it. And I'm not going to go through everything that is on the site, but I'll start with the homepage. And you'll see that there are 3 entry points here for people who land on the page. There are people that want to learn more. There are lots of things that people don't know. There are people that are reaching assumptions or reaching conclusions about particular circumstances throughout the community. And it would be helpful if they could learn more about the services and the people that are providing them throughout the city of Timmins. So that particular page is going to have a literal encyclopedia, if you will. It'll be an aggregate of a lot of the information that the agencies are providing. Then we have a spot for people who might have a question. And so when you land on that particular page, the questions page, is simply going to I'll go ahead and do that now. You'll see there are no bad questions. So if somebody does have a question, they can submit it, and by clicking on the clicking here button, it will be sent by email. You can't post a comment. There are no places here to create conversations. There are plenty of other places online for conversations to happen. This is really for information purposes and to get people connected to some of the groups and the agencies that they may want to either help, or they may know someone that needs to take advantage of some of these services. So you'll see here at the bottom of that page, there is this link here for the Community Safety and Wellbeing Plan, and you will see the city logo here, the Community Safety and Wellbeing Plan, and this click here button on every web page throughout the site. Popping back over here to our home page, we have a video here that I want to sort of kick things off.
Hi, my name's Jason Sreda. I'm a member of the team at Living Space, and I care.
Hi, I'm Julie Levike from Hope Comfort Kits and Community Outreach, and I care.
Hello, my name is Cindy Campbell, and I'm the Executive Director of Downtown Timmins, and I care.
Hi, I'm Jen Bashaw from Anti-Hunger Coalition Timmins, and I care.
I'm Chief John Boatsy of the Timmins Police Service, and I care.
Hi, I'm Audrey Penner of Northern College, and I care.
I'm Peter Davis from the South Porcupine Food Bank, and I really care.
Hi, I'm Tom Walker, Fire Chief, City of Timmins, and I care.
My name is Brian Marks. I'm the Chief Administrative Officer for the Cochrane District Social Services Administration Board, and I care.
Good day. Welcome to Timmins.CARE, a one-of-a-kind website for a one-of-a-kind city. I'm proud of the dozens of groups and agencies working to help the less fortunate in Timmins, as the community would have an obligation to do whatever it takes to end chronic homelessness, just as so many other cities around the world are doing. I'm confident that if you take the time to go through Timmins.CARE, you'll be humbled by the hundreds of people who live and breathe our motto that Timmins is a city with a heart of gold. I'm Mayor George Peary, and I care.
So on each page, we will have a by the numbers segment as well, just highlighting some of the incredible numbers to give people food for thought. So you can pay attention to that. Now, the meat and potatoes at Timmins.CARE really is our homepage and the Did You Know That section. There are somewhere between 30 and 40 organizations in Timmins that are contributing to the social fabric of this great city. So each of those organizations has its own spot here on our homepage that will take you to the information that is relevant to their organization. So we have the city, of course, we have Timmins Police Service. So let me show you the Timmins Police Service page. It is probably one of the most attractive pages that we do have within the website. Timmins Police are doing a lot of things beyond arresting people and crushing crime, as they say, and you know, putting bad guys and bad people behind bars. They're doing a heck of a lot more. So For example, the Vulnerable Persons Registry is one of the great services that Timmins Police provides. You can read all about it here. That's the Vulnerable Persons Registry. About a couple of weeks ago, Chief Gauthier spent some considerable time along with Inspectors Blanchette and Dinell having a conversation with the Timmins Chamber of Commerce. These are the highlights of that conversation, and Chief Gauthier in particular has some tremendous insight into the reality of the statistics, whether it's the crime statistics or things that are related to opioid overdose deaths within Timmins. And I think that it's very, very relevant for people to know about as well, or to be reminded if they didn't catch it, if they weren't part of that conversation, they can now catch it here on this website. Another example of great things that Timmins Police are doing, their new language translation app service. So in the event that officers encounter someone who has trouble with the language that the officer is speaking, or vice versa, they can take advantage of this tremendous translation service. And of course, there's the Aboriginal Advisory Committee as well that Timmins Police have in place. In addition, there's several other things. Of course, we know about the annual toy drive. It's a news release that just came out. Great things that Timmins Police are doing in the community. And of course, this was just released this morning, the Cram a Cruiser event, which is taking place this Saturday. So that's just one example of some of the web pages that are on the site. We're not going to go through all of them. Obviously, there's about 30 of them. We're going to go through just a handful, but I do want to just continue down here and show you that each organization has its own page. Here's a Timmins and District Hospital. So we'll just pop that one up for a second. Dedicated caring professionals. So in particular to the issues that are facing us in the city at this particular moment that are on everybody's radar screen. The hospital is providing information about emergency care services, the number of mental health services that the hospital provides as well are pretty incredible. So this walks you through each one of those, the outpatient mental health program, the crisis team, the overcoming anxiety, panic, and phobia service that they provide. Transitional care programs, eating disorder programs, and of course, a community treatment center. And if someone wants to reach out to the hospital because they are in crisis, they do have a 24/7, 24-hour-a-day crisis line that people can reach out to. So, and if you click on this button and it's on your cell phone, you click on this button, it will actually pop up that phone number for you right away. And of course, at the bottom of the page is the reference to the community safety and well-being plan. So that's the Timmins and District Hospital's contribution to Timmins.CARE. So we'll just scroll down. We'll see the DSAB. Most people, think of DSAB probably in a very small box. When you take the time to go through the DSAB portion of Timmins.CARE, I think you're going to be thoroughly amazed at the number of services that they provide for those less fortunate in the community. Living Space has its own page. South Cochrane Addiction Services that Carol talked about just a few moments ago, they have their own page. Timmins and District Multicultural Center, Porcupine Health Unit, the Community Safety and Wellbeing Project, CMHA, Timmins Native Friendship Center, Downtown Timmins, Timmins Academic Family Health Team, Hope Comfort Kits, and Community Outreach. Just a great, great organization. So take a moment here and have a peek at the Hope Comfort Kits webpage. There are buttons here so that if somebody takes an interest in Hope Comfort Kits and they want to donate or they want to visit their Facebook page, you can do that. Sorry, scrolling a little fast there. Now in its 4th year, here's a background on what the Hope Comfort Kits and Community Outreach Program is all about. And if you want to donate to Hope Comfort Kits, exactly what you can donate. Gloves, mittens, socks, nail clippers, Band-Aids, Kleenex, cough drops, cough medicine, drop off your donation, 125 Elm North. Just remarkable that somebody literally on their doorstep, you can drop off contributions on their doorstep at 125 Elm North. So it's just an amazing, amazing program that's now been around for about 4 years. Some of the people that have supported the Hope Comfort Kit program, the Bucket Shop, Kristen and Gary from Missaway, and of course the Timmins Youth Wellness Hub, who took time to support the Hope Comfort Kit program as well. And again, at the bottom is the Community Safety and Wellbeing program. Pop back over here to the homepage. I think I'm going to show you one more of the organizations here that are connected. And that one would be something that's, I think, really, really kind of cool. South Porcupine Food Bank, which has been around now for, you know, quite some time. You can donate. Here's some interesting numbers. Around 232 average clients a month, 4,300 pounds of food distributed in the month of November. And interestingly, an increase of 80 to 100% approximately in new visitors, new families in the year 2020 that have had to take advantage of the South Porcupine Food Bank, something that we all need to pay attention to. Okay, so let me just come back here to the homepage. And then I'll share a couple more pages, and then we can turn it over to anyone that wants to jump in and share a couple of thoughts. All right, so Project Love. Let's just very quickly have a look at the Project Love page. So Project Love, again, some of their mission statement. People have an understanding. Here is a remarkable video put together by Casada Media Productions for Project Love. I would encourage everybody, if you haven't seen this video, to make sure that you check it out. Again, Project Love by the numbers. 141 volunteers, 365 days a year. They estimate that they've served over 57,000 meals just in the past 4 years to people that are hungry. Some great photographs here of the volunteers and some of the things that are happening. So when you aggregate and you put all of these things together, you really come to the conclusion that there are some extraordinary people in our community taking care of and looking out for those less fortunate. We estimate, based on some very loose data, that there are approximately 1,900 people in Timmins that have their fingerprints on the social fabric of Timmins. We have some amazing videos that are part of these websites. So what we're doing is we've created sort of an aggregate, if you will, of those really, really cool videos here on this particular page called Share These Videos. Caring videos to share with anyone, really at any time.
That is horrible.
So,
yeah, I think so.
hang on a second. I think we got somebody talking there. So these are videos from some of the partners that are involved. We have the Health Unit, the CMHA, Project Love, of course, the great video put together about newcomers to Timmins, the Jubilee Center, Living Space, Multicultural Center, Timmins Academic Family Health Team, and of course the video from Chief Goche in his conversation with chamber members. Timmins.CARE, we also have these great promotional videos for those of you that want people to know about Timmins.CARE. You can share these videos on your social media pages. Great little 10-15-second videos that highlight. Now, there may be organizations and groups out there who also have something to share. They might have a video that would be perfect for the Timmins.CARE website. If they do, click on this link and that will come directly to us as well. And if there are those of you in the community who want to make a contribution, you can do that through this particular web page as well. This is not a web page for any comments or to start any debates. It is simply for information purposes only. Okay, so that pretty much wraps up the quick tour of Timmins.CARE. There is an enormous amount of information on these web pages that people can take advantage of. And the mayor did make reference to this. The Timmins Youth Wellness Hub is leading a project to develop a sister page or a brother page or a companion page to this one called TimminsYouth.CARE. So we're pretty excited about that project as well and being able to blend the two.
Yeah, thank you very much, Kevin. I'm very encouraged. We didn't feature the Timmins District Hospital, but I believe the comment came back to me through Katie Russell that they're going to use the Timmins District Hospital you're going to use this vehicle as a recruiting tool, and those are very, very welcoming words to me. And this came through from Christy Maring a few weeks ago, and she was just relating a story about an individual that they were involved with hiring I guess a resident geologist from Regina that lived in Toronto and then came back up and decided to move into Timmins. The feedback they had from that geologist was when they Googled Timmins, the only thing they could find on Timmins was that awful video through HBO that featured Charlie Angus. So now we've got a lot more content here that features all the good stories about Timmins. If anybody has any, we obviously know that we've got our challenges in the city, and if you have a question or comments about any of these issues, for instance, you go to the TPS and they can tell you all the good work that they're doing. So it will be used as a vehicle to attract people into this city, as well it should be, because the city is full of very, very, very good people and good partners. So thank you everybody here that's contributing and helping to maintain and grow Timmins successes. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Worship. And Brian, did you want to wrap things up?
Yes, thank you, Your Worship. Thanks, Kevin, for the tour and for your work on the site. And thank you to everybody today for attending. I just want to make sure people are clear that even though it says on the site, ending chronic homelessness by 2025, you can see that the site is about more than that. The point is that we can't end homelessness if we're talking about other things. So just like we can't end or stop people from dying from opioid addictions if we're talking about homelessness, and we can't make a difference on decreasing crime if we're talking about those other things. And some of you will know that while we're on this call and we're doing the important work on a day-to-day basis, people are tuning in on social media and saying, well, nothing's happening because we're on this call. We're not tuning in to Facebook pages and telling people what we're doing. Well, that can no longer be said, because now we have a resource where people can go and see what's being done. So really, this is the resource where it can speak for all of us, and this will be what we make it. So it will be a challenge to keep the information up to date, because this won't be as good as it gets. It's going to get better, and there will be more that happens. So the ownership here is a shared model, and it's up to all of us to be vigilant in making sure that we use it for what it's worth, and to allow this to be a common platform for all of us to speak and highlight the good work that we're all doing. So thanks again for being here today, and thank you again to Your Worship and to Kevin for your work on the site, and thanks for everybody for participating.